Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to play a quick TikTok video and then we're going to come back and respond to it. And I just want to put a quick disclaimer on this video. It's not really going to be family friendly, so just be aware. And we're going to come back and respond to this.
There's a book that we've seen that's in libraries and lots of schools that features a story of two daughters having sex with their dad.
Oh, wow.
They get their dad drunk to have sex with him. And this is like a book.
Should a book like that be in a school?
No.
No?
No.
Just get that out of the school.
Absolutely.
Why do the kids need to read that?
That book is actually the Bible.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
All right, welcome back. So we just watched that video from TikTok, and it's a guy going around saying there's a certain situation that happens in the Bible where the father has sexual relations with his daughters. And yes, that isn't in the Bible, but of course the guy doesn't offer scriptures and he offers no context. So that's what we're here to do today, is offer context. As we talk about apologetics, we defend the Bible, and that's what we're here to do, is discuss that. So let's jump into this and discuss it. And sorry for my voice. I actually went to SeaWorld yesterday and we were riding some roller coasters, so my voice is really hoarse right now. So it's just the way it is. We're going to get through this. So, all right, let's jump into this. I want to offer context. We're going to read the scriptures, and that's what this guy didn't do, is he didn't explain the actual scriptures. And I'm actually surprised too, is he goes around and asks these people and they're not even like, hey, you know, what scripture is this? What book is this? And they automatically like, oh yeah, let's get this out of the schools. Let's, you know, do this and that. And no one offered, you know, with like a follow-up question. Hey, what book in the Bible are talking about? What's the context? No one bothered to ask any of these things. And I hate videos like this. So we're going to go through and dissect this. We're not going to take long, just a few minutes. And we're going to go ahead, go through the scriptures, and we're going to go through the points. So this is what the guy in the video was referencing, is Genesis 19, verses 30 through 38. So let's just walk through them, talk about them, and then I'm just going to offer just 4 or 5 quick points about these. So this is talking about Lot. If you remember, this just happened after Sodom and Gomorrah. If you remember, Lot was in the town. Angels came and said, hey, God is going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. Go ahead and get your family out. And this is where we are. So this is right after that. Lot and his 2 daughters are out. Remember, his wife didn't make it. God said, hey, don't turn around and look at what's going on. You're going to turn into a pillar of salt. And that's what happened to his wife. And actually, you can read back the archaeological stuff. And that city, you can actually see pillars of salt and fire and brimstone in that city. But that's another topic for another day. So here we are, Genesis 19. And Lot went up out of Zoar and dwelt in the mountain, and his 2 daughters with him. For he feared to dwell in Zoar, and he dwelt in a cave, he and his 2 daughters. And the firstborn said unto the younger, our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come into us after the manner of all the earth. So come into us, that's another word for sexual relations. That's what it is in the Old Testament. So let's keep going. Come, let us make our father drink wine. And something interesting, real quick, I just want to back up, is they honestly thought that they were only people left on the earth. And so that's why they started having these thoughts in their head. But we're going to jump into this a little bit further. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night. And the firstborn went in and lay with her father, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. So he didn't know what was going on. He perceived not. And that's important because it says twice here that he perceived not. And it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said unto the younger, behold, I lay yesterday night with my father. Let us make him drink wine this night also. And go thou in and lie with him. There it is, thou within, so that's sexual relations. And lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night also. And the younger arose and lay with him, and he perceived not. There's important. Twice now, he perceived not. He didn't know what was going on because he was drunk. And I think all parties here are guilty, by the way. And they made their father drink wine that night also, and the younger arose and lay with him. And he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. Here's the last 2 verses. Thus were both the daughters of Lot with child by their father. And the firstborn bare a son, and called his name Moab. The same is the father of the Moabites unto this day. We're going to go into that in just a second. And the younger she also bare a son, and called his name Ben-Ammi. The same is the father of the children of Ammon unto this day. So this is hardcore what's happening here. Obvious incest, and I think all parties are guilty. So I just want to bring up just a few quick points here. is, number one, the daughters were the ones who instigated this. This wasn't mutual agreement between both parties. It's not like the father wanted to do this. And it specifically says that they knew that he was going to reject this, which is why they gave him wine to drink and get him drunk. So the daughters instigated this, and the Bible clearly states what I just said twice, that the father had no knowledge. And the father did not consent to this. So the daughters were wicked. And what's important here is the daughters were clearly influenced by society. If you remember Sodom and Gomorrah, there was a lot of nasty stuff going on in there. And I kind of relate this today in the world is you have a lot of these awful TikTok videos, all these websites you can go on to, all these places you can go. And the world is a wicked place right now. And these daughters were clearly influenced by the society of happening in Sodom and Gomorrah. And this is why it's important as a father to protect your children. I've got 2 girls myself, and I protect them from certain things in the world. I might go, you ever been to a gas station for you? You drive in, you go to the gas station, you look around, and man, this is a pretty sketchy place. So you know what? I'm going to take my family. It's my responsibility as a father to take care of my family. I'm going to take them somewhere else that's safe. So the daughters were clearly influenced by society. So this is why it's so important to take care of your kids and know what they're watching on TV and who their friends are, who they're hanging out with, because they're going to be who they're going to hang out with. So this is a very important to put in there. And what's interesting here is it talked about Moab and Ben-Ami, which were the 2 sons of the 2 daughters, and the Moabites descended from Moab, and the Ammonites descended from Ben-Ami. And they both actually, and both these were territories, they actually they were enemies of Israel. And if you read about the Moabites and the Canaanites and the Ammonites, these were nasty people. Go read about them, and they did horrific things to children and people all around them. So that's just one point I wanted to bring about the daughters, is they were 100% wrong. They knew what they were doing. They made the excuse that, hey, we're the only human beings on earth, so we want to have a baby. So they're kind of, I guess, you could say they were unaware of what was going on in the societies, but they were wicked, and the father did not consent to this. So the father, so here's the point. The father clearly would have been against this, which is why they had to get him severely drunk. He had no idea what was going on, and they knew that he would say no. And in my opinion, I think, like I mentioned earlier, Lot should have been a better father and gotten them out of Sodom and Gomorrah quicker. And if you remember what happened with Abraham, is Abraham was splitting up the land, and he said, hey, Lot, you go ahead and take whatever piece of land you want. And Lot took this land that had Sodom and Gomorrah on it, and I think he could have made better decisions for his family where to take people. It's like, we own a house, and hey, when before I'm going to uproot my family and go somewhere else, I'm going to check on certain things. I might look at the school system. I might kind of see what kind of demographic people are, and I'm going to try to stay around people that might be a little bit nicer. So here's a third point I want to make is this. No, this isn't going to a story that you're going to pick out and show to your kids. You're not going to pull out the Bible in the middle of kids' class and say, hey, all right, we're going to teach about Lot and his 2 daughters. No, and let me tell you something, there's a lot more books in school that are worse than this, and at least the Bible explains that this is wrong. The Bible isn't condoning this. This is going to give you an example of what not to do, and I actually have a scripture that's going to back up here in just a second. Here's the 4th thing, alcohol. For whatever reason, by society, it's really strange. Alcohol is more widely accepted than anything else. If you think about drugs like cigarettes and marijuana, those things tend to be accepted. It's really strange, but alcohol is never mentioned. It's just kind of always out there. And this is what it says in Proverbs 20, verse 1. It says, wine is a mocker, strong drink is raging, and whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise. You see this all the time. You watch YouTube videos, you go on Reddit, you see all these videos, just people doing dumb things with alcohol. And so I've made a decision in my life, I just don't touch it at all. I just stay away from it because it does a lot of bad things. And I think it can be a stumbling block if you're a Christian drinking. Maybe you're trying to witness to someone. And I know there's mixed things in the Bible, whether alcohol is bad or not. I say just get rid of it out of your life, because that could be a stumbling block for someone, because as a Christian, people are watching us. And so I think we need to be different. And it tells you in the New Testament that Christians are supposed to be a peculiar people. We're supposed to be different. We just went to SeaWorld this weekend, I mentioned, and there was a guy, I was watching him, and I'm not trying to judge anyone. People can do what they want. But he was there with his family, his wife and his kids. And we were standing in line. We were going to take pictures of Elmo, that little thing on Sesame Street, and took a picture with my daughter. But this guy, he was just holding a drink, and he couldn't get this drink out of his hand. and he just kept drinking it, and then he was making jokes with the other guy. And I'm not even kidding, an hour later, I see the same guy, and we go to the orca encounter, where you see the big killer whales. And not kidding, 3 rows ahead, he comes walking in, and he's still got the same drink, just drinking. It's like, I'm just thinking in my head, can't you just enjoy your family? Why do people always have to have alcohol in their hand? And I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate from this. That's fine. I don't care. I just think alcohol leads to really bad things. I've seen it destroy families, and I've even seen it kill people. I've seen people literally just, I didn't see firsthand, but I have a friend, and I won't say who this is because you might watch this videos, but the person drank so much alcohol, they passed out, they laid down, they were looking up at the sky, and the guy threw up, and he died from his own vomit. How crazy is that? And so I just try to get rid of it completely. I just think it does nothing but bad things, and that's just what I've seen. And I think it'd be a stumbling block for a lot of people. But last point, I think I already mentioned this, is the Bible isn't condoning this. This is giving us examples of things not to do. And this leads to the last scripture on this slide. This is in the New Testament. And 1 Corinthians 10:11, it says, "Now all these things happen unto them for examples." So we have these examples, things that happen in the New Testament, of things that we're not supposed to do today. And this is one of those examples. And they are written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come. So that's it. Those are just some of my thoughts I wanted to throw in there. So you have a lot of events that happened in the Old Testament, but again, it's not condoning them. It's giving us a good example of things not to do. And man, if you think this is bad, think about the books. Read about some of the books that are going in the elementary schools and some of the agendas that are being pushed. So sure, this is pretty awful. And again, this is just an example of what not to do. And you see this all throughout the Bible. It says, hey, these are some things that you should do, and these are some things that you shouldn't do. So that's it. We release videos every week. We have our largest segment on Monday, and then I release a couple of small ones all throughout the week. So best thing you can do, keep this channel growing, is like, subscribe, share. And I mentioned we actually just hit 500 subscribers, so I appreciate that. Appreciate all you guys. It's been a blast. I really enjoy doing this, and we're going to keep going, and we're going to hit over 1,000 this year. I can feel it. We're definitely going to do it, and I can't do it without you guys, so I appreciate everything, and we'll see you guys next time.